Imagine this. You're alone in the open ocean. No land. No sound except waves breathing around you. The water is calm, almost polite. Then something changes. Not a splash, not movement, just a shadow underneath you that shouldn't exist. The sunlight vanishes like someone flipped a switch. Your body hasn't figured it out yet, but your instincts already have. Before we go any further, hit like, subscribe, and stay with me. Because what you're about to hear isn't just a shark story. It's the story of the largest predator this planet ever allowed to exist. This is the Megalodon. Megalodon didn't live in a world of humans, boats, or coast guards. It ruled the oceans between about 23 million and 3.6 million years ago, back when the seas belonged to monsters and survival meant being faster, smarter, or bigger than everything else. Megalodon chose a fourth option. It became so overwhelmingly massive that the ocean itself had to make room for it. At full size, this thing stretched up to 60 feet long. Picture a school bus. Now imagine it swimming, and not drifting or lumbering, hunting. Estimates put its weight anywhere between 50 and 70 tons. That's not an animal. That's a moving natural disaster with teeth. And those teeth weren't just teeth. They were weapons. Over 270 serrated blades arranged in rows, each one as long as your hand, designed to tear through flesh and bone without hesitation. When one broke, another slid forward. Nature didn't give Megalodon second chances. It gave it backups. The bite force alone is thought to be the strongest of any animal that has ever lived. Strong enough to crush whale bones like dry twigs. Not crack. Crush. Clean breaks. Fossils don't lie, and whale fossils tell a brutal story. Bite marks across ribs, shattered vertebrae, missing tails. Megalodon didn't nibble, it didn't test, it ended things. This shark didn't waste energy chasing small prey. Fish were beneath it, literally. Megalodon hunted whales. Ancient whales, yes, but still massive animals built for open ocean survival. And it didn't hunt blindly. Evidence suggests it targeted flippers and tails first, disabling its prey before delivering the killing bite. That's not instinct, that's strategy. That's a predator that understands anatomy, efficiency, and fear. Imagine the silence of deep water, broken only by pressure and then impact. No warning, no escape, just darkness and force. And here's where it gets unsettling. Megalodon likely attacked from below. The ocean's oldest horror trick. You don't see it coming. You don't even know you're being hunted until it's already over. That shadow you noticed earlier? That was the last thing you ever saw. Now, let's talk about something weirdly dark and almost funny, if you squint. Megalodon was so successful that its biggest enemy wasn't another species, it was itself. Baby megalodons grew up in shallow coastal nursery zones, safer waters where adults didn't hunt as often. Why? Because adult megalodons would absolutely eat a smaller megalodon if given the chance. Imagine being born into a world where your first life goal is simply not being lunch for your own kind. Family dinners were complicated, and yet Megalodon thrived. For millions of years, nothing challenged it. It didn't need to evolve much because there was no pressure to. When you're at the top of the food chain, evolution mostly just watches and nods. The ocean bent around this creature. Prey evolved to escape it. Ecosystems adjusted to survive it. Megalodon wasn't part of the system. It was the system. So here's the moment everyone waits for. The question that refuses to go away. If Megalodon was that powerful, that dominant, that perfectly designed for killing, how did it disappear? Because something like that doesn't just fade out, or at least it shouldn't. The truth is colder than any horror movie. The world changed, the oceans cooled, ice ages began creeping in, lowering sea levels and reshaping coastlines. Those warm, shallow nursery waters Megalodon depended on started vanishing. At the same time, whale species began changing. Some grew faster, some migrated farther, others learned new survival tricks. And then competition arrived. Smaller, faster predators, early great white sharks among them, didn't need as much food and adapted more easily to the cooling oceans. Megalodon, for all its power, was expensive to exist, a body that massive needed constant fuel. When food became scarce, size stopped being an advantage and started becoming a liability. For a creature that had ruled the oceans for millions of years, the end didn't arrive with violence. There was no final clash, no moment where the seas suddenly turned against it. The decline was subtle, almost invisible. Hunting trips took longer, prey became harder to find. The massive body that once guaranteed dominance now demanded more energy than the ocean was willing to give. Each successful hunt mattered more than the last. Each missed opportunity carried weight. Megalodon wasn't weaker, but the balance had shifted. The ocean it understood so perfectly was no longer the same one beneath its fins. Survival didn't disappear overnight. It eroded, quietly, patiently, until even the greatest predator began to feel out of place in its own kingdom. Megalodon didn't lose a fight. It lost an environment. And slowly, generation by generation, it vanished. No final battle, no dramatic extinction event, just a giant starving in a world that no longer needed it. But here's where things get uncomfortable. We know Megalodon is extinct because the fossil record says so. We know its teeth stop appearing around 3.6 million years ago. But the ocean is still mostly unexplored, less than 5% of it actually. And every year, we discover species we didn't know existed. New sharks, new deep-sea creatures, things that look like they were designed by nightmares and forgotten on purpose. People love to ask, what if Megalodon is still alive? Scientifically? No. Realistically? Also no. A predator that large would leave evidence, bodies, prey remains, unmistakable signs. But emotionally, mentally, the idea refuses to die. Because the ocean is dark and humans don't like not knowing what's beneath them. Megalodon represents something ancient, unstoppable, and humbling. It reminds us that we are visitors in the sea, temporary ones. And maybe that's why the legend still grips us, because even extinct, Megalodon still scares us. So the next time you're standing on a beach, looking out at the horizon, remember this. The ocean once belonged to something so powerful that even time itself had to work to erase it. And if you felt a chill just now, good. That means you understood the story. Subscribe, like the video, and stay curious, because the ocean hasn't told us all its secrets yet, and some of them might be better left buried in the deep.